You are listening there to the sounds of tens of thousands of activists that descended upon Washington yesterday for the People's Climate March. It was one of many marches across the country where advocates demanded action on global warming. Now, the President Trump, of course, en route to his rally in Pennsylvania, did have a message for all of them.
Do you have a message for those rallying on climate change?
To enjoy the day and the weather.
To enjoy the day and the weather, he said. Meanwhile, the people who are ultimately affected by climate change are young people, of course, and now some kids, yes, kids are taking legal action to protect their future, and they're doing so with a federal lawsuit. The lawsuit, now, we should point out, initially targeted the Obama administration, now has taken on a different significance in President Trump's administration, but that lawsuit carrying on into this one. They took their fight all the way to the steps of the Supreme Court. You see them here. This was last week, and they were among the thousands of people who were at the climate march yesterday. Some of them have gotten up early after all of that, and they're with us this morning. Two of those kids suing the administration, Kelsey Juliana and Levi Draheim, and their legal counsel from Our Children's Trust, Julia Olson. Thank you all so much for being here. We certainly appreciate it. I wanted to ask you, first of all, Kelsey, what was your reaction yesterday to the rally?
I thought it was a beautiful demonstration of just how actively engaged and hopeful and joyous we are. You know, we're doing this out of a place of love and out of a place of deep passion to protecting the things that not only we value, but we hold to be true to ensuring the safety and security of all people. Levi, you look like a happy camper today. Yes. So I have to believe that you were happy with the rally as well. Help us understand here, what is, Levi, your biggest fear when it comes to the environment right now?
Well, my biggest fear is that if climate change continues, I live on a barrier island in Florida, and there has been lots of dune erosion, and if the dune keeps eroding, then the sea turtles won't have a place to nest, and then that would be a really big problem. Mm-hmm. And also there's been way more wildfires than there has been normally.
Okay, so Kelsey, when you listen to what his concerns are, help people who don't understand maybe what human causes are doing to the environment, help them understand what we can do to alleviate his fears and to turn things around. Everyday action from all people is necessary. And of course, when we talk about addressing climate chaos, we're looking at a systemic shift, a paradigm shift is really necessary. You know, part of our case is looking at evidence that our government, our federal government, who's are literally elected into a job that you know, provides them the responsibility and the opportunity to look out for protecting all people, and ensuring that systems needed for survival are in fact protected and put in place, that future generations can depend on resources like air, water, and land for their needs. Mm-hmm. And so we're looking at evidence that our government has kind of neglected those responsibilities, and this is dating back several decades to the mid-50s. So we do need a systemic shift, and we need our government to really put into action climate recovery and protect those inherent constitutional mm-hmm. rights of all people. But we do need actively citizens taking action every single day. So you are taking action, many of you, in the form of this lawsuit. Julie, I'd like to bring you into the conversation, looking at the policy cutbacks and the cutbacks at the EPA specifically. Since this is a carryover from the Obama administration now into the Trump administration, has the suit changed in any way based on some of the policy shifts we've seen?
Well, this lawsuit is really about 5 decades of our federal government creating a fossil fuel-based energy system. And that energy system is causing pollution that's changing our climate in really devastating ways. And they've known for 50 years that this would happen. And so while the Trump administration is denying climate change and making things even worse, This case is really about the historic failure of government and the violation of the fundamental constitutional rights of young people and all future generations.
Julia, I only have a couple of seconds left, but how long do you think before there may be a ruling on this suit?
We will be in trial by the end of the year, and we're preparing for trial against the Trump administration and the fossil fuel industry right now.
All righty. So, Levi, one last question for you, my friend. If you could say one thing to the people listening who have questions about what they're causing in the environment, what would you like to say to them today?
Well, I'm not exactly sure, actually. I mean, one thing that I would like to say is that I'm being inspired by them, and that's one of the reasons why I'm standing up for my environment.
All righty. Well, Julia Olson, Kelsey, Juliana, and Levi Draheim, we appreciate all of you taking the time to be with us today. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.